The night was dark, and the only sound that filled the air was the distant hoot of an owl. Chidi ran as fast as his legs could carry him, his breath coming in quick, sharp gasps. The thick bushes tore at his clothes, but he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. Death was behind him. It had all started that evening. Chidi was in the small hut he shared with his mother, weaving a mat, when he heard shouts from the village square. He rushed outside and saw flames rising into the sky. The village was under attack. Masked men with torches and machetes stormed the village, setting huts on fire and cutting down anyone in their path. Chidi's heart pounded like a drum in his chest. His mother grabbed his arm, her eyes wide with fear. "Run, Chidi. Run and don't look back," she screamed. But Chidi didn't want to leave her. Before he could protest, she pushed him towards the forest. Then, he saw one of the attackers turn towards them, his machete glinting in the firelight. Chidi had no choice. He turned and ran. Now, in the depths of the forest, Chidi didn't know where he was going. He just ran. The shouts behind him grew fainter, but he knew he wasn't safe yet. He stumbled over a root and fell face-first into the mud. Pain shot through his arm, but he bit his lip to keep from crying out. Suddenly, he heard footsteps approaching. He pressed himself against the ground, barely breathing. A shadow passed over him. The attacker was near, his machete dripping with fresh blood. Chidi could hear his heavy breathing. He shut his eyes, praying the man wouldn't see him. The attacker stood still for a moment, then muttered something under his breath and moved on. Chidi remained motionless until he could no longer hear the footsteps. Then, he slowly lifted his head. The forest was silent again. He crawled forward, careful not to make any noise. He had to find somewhere to hide. Up ahead, he saw a hollow tree. It was large enough for him to squeeze into. Without a second thought, he crawled inside, curling himself into a ball. Hours passed. The sounds of the attack faded. Chidi wanted to cry, but he knew tears wouldn't help him now. His mother was gone. His village was gone. He was alone. Just as he was about to drift into exhausted sleep, he heard movement outside. His heart stopped. Had they come back? He held his breath, listening. Then, a familiar voice called out. "Chidi." His eyes widened. He knew that voice. It was his uncle, Okofo. Cautiously, Chidi peeked out from the hollow tree. There stood his uncle, covered in dirt and scratches, but alive. Relief flooded through Chidi as he ran into his uncle's arms. "We must leave this place," Okofo whispered. "More danger could come." With his uncle leading the way, Chidi walked through the forest, not knowing what lay ahead. But one thing was clear: he had survived. And he would keep surviving, no matter what it took.